You weren't just born to live, you were born to rise. Let me tell you something. I wasn't born in privilege. I wasn't born in perfection, but I was born with purpose, and so were you. Your origin is not your outcome. Where you start doesn't determine where you finish. Circumstances are facts, not finalities. You know, one of the greatest lies we've been sold is that where you begin is where you're bound to remain. That if you were born in poverty, you'll die in it. That if you started behind, you'll never catch up. But let me tell you something backed by psychology, philosophy, and personal experience. Your origin is not your outcome. You might have been born into struggle, but you were not created to stay there. The circumstances of your birth are not the ceiling of your destiny. They are the soil, and your decision to grow determines the harvest. There's a term in psychology called learned helplessness. It's when someone's been stuck so long, they stop trying to get free, even when the door is open. Too many people are living inside prisons with the keys in their own hands. And why? Because they believe their past has the final say. But listen, the past is information, not a life sentence. If you're willing to extract the wisdom from your wounds, you can convert your history into fuel. Philosophers have long argued whether fate or free will governs a life. I say this, fate writes the introduction, but your decisions write the chapters. And if you don't like the narrative you're living in, then it's time to pick up the pen. You didn't choose where you started, but you absolutely have a say in where you finish. You're not a product of circumstance, you are a producer of change. Mindset is the multiplier. Your thoughts create your reality. The way you think determines what you attract and what you achieve. Let me break this down for you. The greatest battle you'll ever fight won't be in the marketplace, in a boardroom, or in your bank account. It will be in your mind. See, most people are trying to change their life without changing the system that runs their life, their mindset. And that's like trying to download a new result on outdated software. It crashes every time. Your mindset is the multiplier. It doesn't just add to your life. It magnifies what you believe to be true. If you believe you're limited, every opportunity will look like a threat. If you believe you're unworthy, every blessing will feel like a mistake. That's not reality lying to you. That's your mindset filtering truth through fear. Psychologists call this cognitive bias. We tend to see what we expect, not what's actually there. So if you expect failure, you'll sabotage success even when it shows up. But here's the good news. You don't have to stay stuck in that pattern. You can renew your mind. You can rewire your thinking. You can choose the narrative you believe. Philosophically speaking, this is about sovereignty. Who has authority over your perception? If it's the media, your trauma, your past, or your environment, then your results will always be externally controlled. But if you reclaim authorship, if you choose to believe higher, live deeper, and think bigger, you flip the entire equation. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Change your mind, and your life will chase to catch up. Obedience to purpose is power. You were not born to fit in. You were born to fulfill a purpose. Purpose breeds discipline. Let me tell you something that doesn't get said enough. Discipline isn't just about habits. It's about alignment with purpose. See, people think motivation is the key to success. But motivation is a spark. Purpose is the engine. And discipline is the fuel line that keeps it all moving. The question is not what do you feel like doing. The real question is what are you called to do? And are you willing to obey that call when it's inconvenient? Purpose demands obedience. Not obedience to rules, but to design. Everything in nature functions in obedience to its purpose. The sun rises on time. Birds migrate with precision. Water flows downhill. But we humans, we resist our purpose. We negotiate with it, delay it, distract from it. all while wondering why our lives feel off track. Purpose isn't something you stumble into. It's something you submit to. That's where true power comes from. Not in chasing money or status or applause, but in waking up every day knowing exactly why you're breathing and aligning your behavior with that why. That alignment creates authority. It gives you clarity, and clarity is the birthplace of confidence. From a psychological standpoint, purpose-centered living produces resilience, grit, and a higher sense of well-being. Philosophically, it brings you into congruence, the unshakable state where your actions match your convictions. So let me ask you, who are you obeying, your feelings or your calling? Because your power is hiding in your obedience. Pain is a platform, not a prison. Use your pain as a platform to rise, not an excuse to stay stuck. Pain is one of life's most misunderstood teachers. Most people treat pain like a prison, something to avoid, something to escape from. But pain, properly processed, is actually a platform. It's a launching pad, a lever for elevation. See, you weren't designed to live pain-free. You were designed to learn through pain. It's not there to punish you. It's there to prepare you. Psychologically, pain activates awareness. It forces you to confront what you've been ignoring. It breaks illusions. And if you have the courage to lean into it, pain can become one of the most honest mirrors you'll ever face. It reveals what's unresolved, what's unfinished, and what's waiting to be transformed. Now I get it. Pain doesn't feel productive in the moment. But think about this. Every major transformation in your life was preceded by some form of discomfort. Every breakthrough had a breakdown attached to it. That's not coincidence. That's divine design. Philosophically, this is what the Stoics understood. Pain isn't the enemy, it's a forge. It burns off the inessential and shapes the core. It's how you turn experience into wisdom, suffering into strength. But only if you choose not to be bitter, because bitterness is pain mismanaged, but growth, that's pain channeled. So don't waste your wounds. Don't numb them, don't hide them, and don't apologize for them. Let them speak. Let them teach. Let them elevate. Your pain doesn't disqualify you. It distinguishes you. Invest in growth, not comfort. Comfort zones kill calling. Growth zones require sacrifice. You must choose your future over your feelings. Let's be honest, most people don't have a purpose problem. They have a comfort addiction. We say we want transformation, but what we really want is convenience. And let me tell you, those two are not roommates. Growth and comfort do not live at the same address. One will have to move out. If you're truly serious about rising, you've got to be more committed to your future than to your feelings. Now, from a psychological standpoint, this is about delayed gratification. The most successful people aren't the most talented. They are the most disciplined at sacrificing short-term pleasure for long-term gain. They invest in growth. They study when others scroll. They practice when others party. They build when others binge. And philosophically, this is the essence of maturity, choosing principles over preferences. See, immature minds chase pleasure. Mature minds pursue purpose. And that means learning to tolerate the tension of discomfort, because everything you want, impact, income, influence, lives on the other side of effort you haven't made yet. You can't keep feeding your distractions and starve your destiny. You can't keep investing in entertainment while expecting education to find you by accident. Success leaves clues, but only seekers find them. So if you're feeling stuck, ask yourself, are you growing, or are you just comfortable? Because one leads to greatness, the other leads to regret. Comfort feels good now, but growth feels right forever. You're born to lead, not to linger. Stop waiting for permission. Step up, speak up, rise up. Leadership is not about position, it's about permission. And the first person you need permission from is you. You don't need a title to lead. You don't need a crowd to validate your voice. You don't need circumstances to line up before you step into your assignment. You were born to lead, not to linger in doubt, hesitation, or smallness. But most people are waiting. Waiting for perfect timing, waiting for more resources, waiting for somebody to recognize their value. Let me be clear. Waiting is not preparation when it's rooted in fear. It's procrastination with a nice outfit. And while you're waiting, life is moving. Psychologically, this is what we call learned delay. We trick ourselves into thinking we're not ready when really we're just afraid to start messy. But leadership doesn't begin with certainty. It begins with responsibility. It's the willingness to step up even when you're unsure, to speak up even when your voice shakes. And philosophically, this comes down to stewardship. You've been given gifts, ideas, insight not to hoard, but to multiply. That's the mark of true leadership. Not how much you know, but how much you activate in others. And you can't activate anyone if you're hiding. So stop playing small. Stop shrinking to fit environments you've outgrown. The world doesn't need a quieter version of you. It needs the authentic you in full authority. You weren't born to wait for impact. You were born to be the impact.